Hi, I'm Sarah from SKL Training. If you've recently become a centre with CPD or ABT or a similar kind of awarding body, you're likely to have to print your own certificates. So today we're going to have a look at how you can do that. I'm going to be showing you on a MacBook Air. So if you've got a Windows laptop or PC, it will be slightly different, but the principle will be mainly the same. I'm going to assume that your certificate's already made up, either by yourself or by somebody else. So I'm going to assume that you already have the certificate. For the purpose of this video, I've emailed it to myself. Here it is, but it's in PowerPoint. Now, you might have a certificate in Word. This is going to work in exactly the same way. I prefer to use PowerPoint because I just find it a lot easier to manipulate. So let's open the certificate. Okay, here it is. So we've got a certificate already made up. This one's already signed as well, which is fantastic. And what we want to do is add a student name and add a qualification name. So we need to do that before we do anything else. To edit your certificate, simply click into it. With PowerPoint, I have made this all using text boxes. So if we click into a text box, there's another text box, and there's another one. That is an added image. That is an added image, and that's an added image as well. So let's click into the student name. Okay, so you can see we're in it. It's highlighted around the side. You can see a cursor there, and we want to change the student name. I'm going to change it to my name because it's the easiest thing for me to do. So you can either highlight it by dragging across, or what I tend to do, because I like to use the keys, is I'm clicking into the box. I'm pressing Command and A keys together. But if you're on a Windows PC or laptop, you can click Control and A, and that will highlight all of the text in that box. Either way, whichever way you want to do it, highlight the text in the box. And I will simply type over it. Let's click out of it, see how it looks. Well, it looks all right to me. But we now want to change the qualification name. So we're going to do the same again. Click into it. You can highlight the text, or you can click Command and A or Control and A together at the same time. I'm dragging it across this time. Now, one of the courses that this particular provider is offering is microblading. So I'm going to put my caps lock on. And I'm writing microblading. Let's click out of it, see how it looks. Nice. Now, if you do write in there and you think, that could be a little bit bigger, I would like that to be slightly bigger, then again, just highlight the text. And up here at the top, you can either change the size, so you can go 28. Do you think that looks better? I think it looks a bit better. We're going to leave it at that. So now what we want to do is we want to change this PowerPoint into a PDF. Now, the reason that we want to do that is because when you print, you want your certificate to take up all of the page. If you print on PowerPoint, the chances are that there'll be a gap at the side, because that's just how PowerPoint prints. Even if you select full page, it's still going to do it. A PDF won't. So that's what we want to try. So we're going to change this into a PDF. Now, we want to make sure that it's saved first, because you are likely to want to print lots of certificates. Well, I hope you are, because that means that your centre's working successfully. So we want to make sure that it's saved in its current format, so that next time, if you want to change it to someone else, you can just do that, no bother. But we don't want John to have a certificate today. It's going to be me. So up here at the top of the screen, I've got a button that says Save As. You may or may not have that button, depending on the version of PowerPoint that you're using, the computer that you're using, and many other factors. So the other thing that you can do is, and this is exactly the same in Mac and in Windows. If you click File, Save As, it'll look different, but the principle is exactly the same. And then we want to save it. Now I'm going to save into my Dropbox, into Pink Beauty. But you can save it anywhere you want to. So we can see it has a name there. I'm going to put a different name in there. And then I'm going to save it. So whatever happens next, I know that we have that certificate again, and I can use it if I want to send a certificate to somebody else. But now we are going to change our certificate that is in PowerPoint to a PDF. So we're going to go through the same process again. File, save as. Now this time, you can see at the bottom, file format. So at the moment it's in a PowerPoint presentation, but we don't want that. We actually want it in a PDF. So we've got a couple of arrows there. Let's click. Oh, look, export formats, PDF. Now you might need to scroll further down to find it, but it will be there somewhere. So export formats, we're going PDF. I'm going to call it the same name, but you can change the name if you want to. And then I'm going to save. So it's going to export. It's just done that there. So we can see what it looks like as a PowerPoint, and we can manipulate that. We can change anything on that page whatsoever. But when it's in a PDF, it can't do that. And that's what we want on this occasion. So I'm going to have a look here. Now, if you have a Mac, you can probably see recents there. And I'm going to look sample certificate PDF. Let's see what it looks like. There it is. So we can see it's taken up the whole page, which is exactly what we want. And it looks really nice. So now we're going to print it. Now, at this point, I'm going to assume that you already have your printer set up. If you don't have your printer set up, make sure you do, and that your computer, Mac, laptop, or anything that you use, make sure it's recognizing it first. So let's just make that slightly smaller so we can see. Looks good. So now we want to print. So we're going to go File, Print. Now again, that is going to be the same whether that is on a Mac, a Windows PC, or a Windows laptop. Now we can see here that, yeah, it looks like the edges are slightly cut off, but it doesn't matter because that is much better than what you would have seen on PowerPoint. On PowerPoint, it would have been bigger on one side than the other, and that's going to look ugly in your certificate. Now, what I would recommend that you do is buy some paper that is specifically for certificates. So something that's a little bit thicker than your standard A4 paper. And then make sure you can see your printer there. These settings don't matter at the moment. It could be two-sided or not, makes no difference. This is only a one-side file. Got paper size there. And then we're going to print. Then hopefully you'll have your certificates printed, looking exactly how you want them to look. Good luck with your new centre.